Welcome, Riddell Sports Network. My name is Dan, and I'm going solo today. I wanted to talk about the team that I personally root for. That's the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, Eagles had a great game on one hand and a horrible game on another. You can see the score here, 15-12. Now, the Eagles completely dominated the game, stats-wise. Okay, let's check team. 460 total yards to 219, 288 passing yards to 130, buck 72 to 89. Across the board, 7 average yards per play to 4 points scored. Time of possession, yeah. Oh, well, it wasn't as bad as I thought. 32 to 27. I thought it would have been way... It seemed like the third quarter was completely dominated by the Eagles in terms of time of possession. The only thing that the Saints ended up better, oh, I guess third down efficiency, barely, and then penalties. Eagles had a lot of penalties, a lot of dumb penalties, and speaking of dumb penalties, was the New Orleans offensive tackle who threw Darius Slay out of bounds and completely, he might have cost his team the game with that one. That was absolutely terrible. But as you see here, the Eagles were shut out for 3 quarters. Now, if they're completely dominating, they have almost 500 yards of total offense. How? And only 1 turnover? How do they only have 15 points? Well, you see, any time that the Eagles got into Saints territory in the first half, there was a turnover. Now, there was a Jalen Hurts fumble, a Jalen Hurts interception, and you might say, well, yeah, that's pretty typical of a Jalen Hurts type of day. But Nick Sirianni decided that field goals in a close game were not for him. There was one point at the end of the second half, and this one bothers me. This one, if the Eagles would have lost, I would have actually lost physical human sleepover. Now, Sirianni, with, I think it was 14 seconds left, but sub 20 seconds, 4th down in the Saints territory. It was inside the 30 of the Saints. Very makeable field goal for Jake Elliott. 14 seconds left and 1 timeout, 4th down. They decide to go for it. So here's the risk reward. What's the reward? You get a 1st down. More likely than not, it's going to be a running play, because you don't want to put it in Jalen Hurts' hands. And the result is you gain a yard. It's probably 12, 11, 10 seconds left before you get your timeout in. You get 1 more throw at the end zone before you're going to have to kick a field goal. That's it. That is the reward. Is a potential throw at the end zone. But the greater risk is a sack, a turnover. How about going for it on 4th down and not getting it, which is exactly what happened. The risk analysis in Nick Sirianni's head blows my mind. I did a live stream of the second half because we were originally going to do a 4 p.m. game. And I was sitting there watching this and just getting more irritated by the minute. So I ended up coming and doing the second half. So you can catch my reactions on that there. But nonetheless, the Eagles decided anytime that they got close to be reckless and careless, regardless of... I don't think the Jalen Hurts interception was necessarily his fault. I do think it's a result of the play calling, because they go over the middle with Devontae Smith, who's a very slender, slight receiver, and the defender beat him to the ball. Now, typically that's probably an A.J. Brown slot, or you probably want to go Dallas Goedert on that one. I know, they actually gave Dallas Goedert the ball today, but Saquon Barkley saved the Eagles. Dallas Goedert saved the Eagles. All 15 points coming in the 4th quarter. And the final play of the game was the final play of the game that mattered was a Reed Blankenship interception. I think there was some confusion between Carr and his receiver. But the Saquon Barkley breakout run that he had to give the Eagles their first points, and then a little dump pass to Dallas Goedert, who turned it into a monstrous gain, ended up with a very nice day, because by that point, You were missing Britton Covey, and you're probably, if you're not an Eagles fan, are like, who the hell's Britton Covey? But the guy has been solid in A.J. Brown's absence. He's a slot receiver. He's their punt returner. He went down with injury early on, as you can see, 1 catch for 11 yards. DeVonta Smith, on the other hand, was having a very nice game, and there was a controversial play between the Smith caught one. He starts to try and make a move, and he makes his way back towards the line of scrimmage, and there's a big defensive tackle who just hammered him. There was some controversy about whether a Saints player spit on him, on DeVonta Smith, all sorts of different stuff. The Saints have long since been known for this type of play. So I think mentally maybe that sparked the Eagles to finally, get it together. But Jalen Hurts, 29 of 38, 311 and an interception. Those numbers don't look too bad, do they? But what, again, is the problem with Jalen Hurts? He is incapable of reading the defense. So all of his plays, most of his plays, are, if his first read's not there, he's out. If there's a defender in the way, the first read is not there, he's gone. Ghost. House call. Right? And if he's drops back in the pocket, he doesn't give enough time to he doesn't ever step up in the pocket. His feet are always going horizontal or vertically, but in the wrong direction, away from the line of scrimmage. None of the plays are on time. All of his plays are scramble. And you would think the Eagles, with a top 5 offensive line, perennially always have a top 5 offensive line. You would think the guy doesn't need to scramble because he's always protected, which is true. There's so many plays where he has a perfect pocket to step up into and decides he wants to run. And now that's why he gets these broken plays, which against the Saints, fine. But when you start to get towards the playoffs, and if the Eagles don't make the playoffs in this division, they got problems. But when you start to make your way towards the playoffs, it's not sustainable. Broken plays are great when you're in a tough battle. You've been up, you've been in the pocket all day making plays, and stuff breaks down. The red team's quarterback, red and yellow team, their quarterback is famous for this. He's up in the pocket, he's throwing the Andy Reid crafted plays, but then every now and then he's got to break out and do something. That is what a quarterback needs to be. Not afraid to step up in the pocket, and instinctually never does. But the numbers themselves don't look bad. That's why everyone thinks that Jalen Hurts is... Everyone who doesn't pay attention thinks Jalen Hurts is a good quarterback because he puts up fantasy numbers. But the reality is that... Trust me. Watch his feet if you watch nothing else the next time you watch a Philadelphia Eagles game. And I think they're at Tampa Bay this week. But if nothing else, just watch it. It is incredible. Anyways, I was watching some old Donovan McNabb stuff, and if you put Donovan McNabb on this team, the dude that spent his career throwing to Todd Pinkston and James Thrash, he had 2 years of Terrell Owens before that imploded, but after Terrell Owens, before Deshaun Jackson got there, he had nothing. Freddie Mitchell, Jason Avant was decent, but never going to blow the socks off anyone. If you put him on this roster, a prime Donovan McNabb, oh my God. Go back and watch some Donovan McNabb highlights if you've never seen him play. Anyways, I think I'll wrap it up here, but Eagles, regardless of the tough day they had, they still pulled out the victory. The 15 points is due to a... Jake Elliott did have a missed field goal, by the way, a 60-yarder. You keep the guy on the sideline all day and then call on him for a 60-yarder? Maybe let him warm up with a couple 30, 40-yarders that you had the opportunity to do beforehand. I don't know. What the hell do I know? But it was a 2-point conversion, and the Saints had a chance at the end, but Reed Blankenship comes up with the play. So the positive about the Eagles, not only Saquon Barkley and Dallas Goedert, but the biggest positive is that defense. Jalen Carter was an absolute force. I don't know if I saw him the first 2 weeks. I know he's on the field and he wasn't hurt. but he was just kind of lost in the shuffle. He was loud in this game, all over it, between stopping the run and pass deflections. The guy was an absolute nightmare for the Saints. And for a team that was scoring 45 points a game and put up 12, kind of says it all, doesn't it? But congratulations to the Eagles. And I'll be seeing them again on Sunday. I think I'll probably call that game because they're stressing me out enough to pay closer attention to, I suppose. But thanks for watching. If you like little videos like this where I just talk about one game or two between the Sunday games and our Wednesday live stream, just let us know down in the comments. Let me know what you think about Jalen Hurts, about Sirianni and these strange decisions, and the rest of the Eagles. And we'll catch you guys later.